Jacket potatoes, they're a fantastic vehicle for so many different flavours. And a Schofield favourite would have to be jacket potatoes with chili con carne. I'm going to show you how to make chili con carne from scratch without using any packet spices or added flavours, just natural stuff that you've probably got in your pantry anyway. My potatoes are in the oven. I'm using russet potatoes, nice large russet potatoes. They're going to take about an hour and a half to cook, so that gives me enough time to make this perfect chili con carne. So I've been frying off some onion and some capsicum. I find this is the most important part of it because you really want to cook down these vegetables because that is going to give this extra flavour. So once it starts to look like this, and this has taken about 10 minutes, we can add our meat. I'm just using good old standard beef mince, and we're going to break it up and start to colour it. So we want little pieces of the meat, coat it in our onion and capsicum mixture, and always a pinch of salt, freshly cracked pepper. Now I'm going to add my garlic. I don't want to add my garlic too early because it'll burn. So we can add 1 to 2 cloves of garlic that I've chopped, another stir, and some coriander. Now I'm using coriander root for the actual chili con carne, and then the leaves I'll keep for a garnish. So we'll just cut about 1/3 of it off, save that for later. And the roots and stalks, so much flavour. So if you're going to use coriander anyway, you might as well use up the whole lot and make this dish taste even better. So finely chop the coriander root and stalk, gather that together and just run your knife through it a few times. It's looking good. And in with our meat. Okay, for the spices, so you need a generous spoonful of ground cumin. This is the most important spice for this. It's a key ingredient in chili con carne. Also some dried oregano and some chipotle in adobo sauce. Now, this is an ingredient I think is a must-have. It's essentially chili that's been smoked and it's in a rich tomato sauce. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of this, and I've chopped it all up. The rest of it I'm going to reserve to make a delicious sour cream topping later on. This gives it a really nice depth of flavour. That smokiness comes through. It really is an authentic ingredient to add to your chili con carne. Right, now that all that meat has coloured, we'll add the last spice, which is cinnamon. So a good pinch of cinnamon. And that's all for the spices. For some tomato, so 1 can of crushed tomato, and I've got some water here. I've actually just washed out my can. I'll also wash out the bowl. We do need that extra liquid, so you might as well just use up all of it and stir that through. Some vinegar, so just red wine vinegar, and 1 can of kidney beans. I've rinsed them, I've drained them really well. Now this needs to cook long and slow, so that whole hour. So we'll pop the lid on, turn that down to a medium heat, stir it occasionally. We want it to be thick and rich. Okay, the spuds have come out of the oven. They're perfectly cooked. And as you can see, I did cook them on that salt. That just ensures that they stay super moist in the centre, and also so they don't wobble as they cook. So I will take all of the salt off. I've cooked them in their skins because there's nothing wrong with the skins. Lots of flavour, in fact. We'll pop that onto a plate, and we're going to cut straight down the centre, about 3/4 of the way through, and the other way. So we've got a cross, and then we'll pinch it open. So you do want to let them cool slightly when they come out of the oven because they will burn your fingers. So expose that gorgeous flesh of the potato and have a look at our thick and rich chili con carne. See, that's been cooking for a while, that 1 to 1.5 hours. This is how it should be. You want that deep, rich colour, and we are almost ready to plate up. But a few more things to go with this. I love my spud with sour cream. I think everyone does. So a generous spoonful of sour cream into a bowl. Add another scoop. And you can just add it straight away on top. But if you want to give it a little bit of a zing, I'm going to add some lime and the rest of that chipotle in adobo sauce. I like the spiciness of it, so we're going to mix that together with our lime. So juice of half a lime, you can use the rest as a garnish. We'll squeeze that in. Look how juicy that is. Very nice. And this will thin it out, but that's okay. That's how I want it for this. Keep mixing it until it's completely combined. Fantastic. That's the best way to jazz up sour cream. All right, a generous spoonful of our chili con carne. And straight into the center of the spud. Let it fall down. It's supposed to be one of those messy, fun dishes. And our flavored sour cream that goes on top. If you didn't want to use sour cream, yogurt is another fantastic option if you wanted a bit of a lighter version. And to finish it, this needs some crunch. So you can use some crispy fried shallots or some almonds. I've toasted some almonds. They can just be sprinkled over the top. And all of that coriander, don't waste it. We did reserve all the leaves. They can just go on top. I like a bit of coriander for this, so a few sprigs. Lastly, a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil. And that is the ultimate spud. It's a fully loaded spud with chili con carne and delicious sour cream.